Today, I'm reviewing the Nest Doorbell by Google. I'll walk you through my personal experience, the features, and why I chose it versus the competition. Now, I personally own and use this product, which I feel is very important in providing a quality and trusted review. Now, I'm not a fan of long, boring introductions, so let's get started. Now, the packaging is made from 92% recycled materials. That's great if sustainability is important to you. I think I would have purchased it regardless, but it's nice to know. The doorbell itself is constructed from 47% recycled post-consumer plastic, showing Google's commitment to the environment. You could have been a pair of old sneakers or a shampoo bottle in your past life. I love the sleek and modern design with soft rounded edges. It's available in multiple colors, and although I think the linen option is the least interesting, it happened to match my door frame. I've done a lot of research on the competition, and I think Google beats everyone when it comes to the design. Now, the previous owners of my home actually had a Ring doorbell, so I could have easily popped in a new one using the existing screw holes in my brick wall, rather than go through the trouble of drilling through brick. But my home was already filled with Google devices, including 2 Nest Hub displays. Yeah, I'm a Google smart home guy. And when somebody rings that doorbell, I want it displaying on my Nest Hub Max in the kitchen so everyone can see who's ringing the doorbell and communicate with them if necessary. Now, sure, you could get by with just having notifications on your phone, but with a family of 4, it's nice having one central place where everyone can see who's at the door. Now, there is a wired and a wireless version. Now, I initially ordered the wired version because there were a number of wires popping out of the wall next to my front door. However, none of them worked, so I returned it and got the battery version. There's only a few differences. The wired version supports always-on video with 2-second preview and extended clips. And of course, you don't have to charge a battery. However, since that didn't work for me, the battery option's great. It's slightly larger to accommodate the battery. It could also be wired in the future if you decide to go that route. And charging the battery every once in a while isn't really a big deal to me, so I'm very happy with the battery version. Now, as far as the battery life goes, it's hard to quote something specific. On the website, it gives you a wide range of 1 or 2 months to like 4 to 6 months. It's kind of all over the place. If your doorbell gets a ton of use, if you constantly have people coming to your door, ringing your doorbell, and your doorbell's making use of all these advanced features, it's not going to last as long. And if it's not being used as much, it'll last longer. And I've been living with this doorbell through the winter. It gets really cold, and I get notifications from the doorbell saying that it's cold outside and it may affect my battery life. But even in the dead of winter, I don't get a notification that my battery's low for about 6 weeks, and even then it probably still has another week or 2 left. So generally, I would say a couple of months. Google includes a tool to stick in the top which pops the doorbell right off, or if you lose that, you could use a flathead screwdriver. You just detach it from the wall, plug it into the USB-C, and it's charged in a few hours. Really not a big deal at all for me. Can I just hold this the whole time? I really like holding it during the review. Installing the Nest Doorbell was so easy and straightforward, it's ridiculous. Now, Google's app, their website, it's so easy, clear, straightforward, and simple. It's much better than the competition I've tried. I'm not going to name names, but installing it could not be easier. It includes all the hardware, a mounting plate, screws, anchors, and it has a wedge in case you want to change the angle. Now, I mentioned before, I had a brick wall, and I've never drilled into brick, so I went to the hardware store and got a masonry bit and drilled a couple of holes in the brick, and here we are. Mounting was extremely easy, and I also did use the wedge to angle it in a better position. I mean, if anything, the installation was too easy. Like, I really can't go on enough about this. Now, maybe this is because I've already been using the Google Home app for years, but setting it up through the app was seamless. Now, the app guides you through every step, and I had it up and running within minutes. Now, if you're like me and you have multiple Google Home and Nest Hub devices throughout your home, during the initial setup, you can choose which ones the doorbell rings on and which ones it doesn't. You know, in case you have kids sleeping. One of my biggest complaints, however, is that after that initial setup, I was not able to find that screen again where I can choose which devices get notifications. I looked all through the app, I did a lot of research, and I genuinely don't think you can get back into that screen after the initial setup. It's not the end of the world, but I think it's an oversight that should be corrected. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not a problem, but I'm pretty sure it is. Now, the resolution is 960 by 1280 high definition. It's definitely pretty clear. It can make out faces, packages. I can zoom in on things, whether it's the daytime or at night. It has a 3 by 4 vertical field of view, which I think is great because it captures packages on the ground and it captures the entire person who's at your door. And it also has HDR for clear images and high contrast lighting. And the field of view is 145 degrees diagonal, which is plenty to see your entire entryway. Now, of course, it does have night vision. It has infrared LEDs that provide clear images in the dark. Now, sometimes when I see somebody's face in the dark, it takes me a second to process who it is, but you can definitely see their faces. And Google's facial recognition recognizes them in the dark too. And it has two-way audio with noise cancellation. You can easily talk to visitors or ignore them entirely. For smart features, it has AI-powered alerts. It detects people, packages, animals, and vehicles. It's pretty accurate, but sometimes the packages feature is overly sensitive. I could be walking out of the house with a bag and it says package detected. I actually tested it by placing down a coffee mug, and of course it said package detected. But it's not perfect, it could be tricked. And I guess a few more alerts never hurt anyone. You could also customize activity zones. This way you're only getting alerted if someone's in your entryway, or wherever you choose it to be. If not, you may get way too many alerts of cars passing by or people walking on the street that aren't coming to your door. Now, for features like facial recognition, it requires a Nest Aware subscription. You'll of course get a free trial of this at first, so they'll hook you. But it is really cool. You can save faces of friends and family, and it alerts you by saying who's at the door. Comparing it to something like Google Photos, which I think has amazing facial recognition, it's not going to be quite as good, and I assume that's because the resolution on the camera is not going to be as good as your advanced smartphone is. So although it's pretty accurate, I have 2 young sons, and it often sees them as the exact same person. But I don't need it to be 100% perfect. Keep in mind that all recordings are cloud-based. There's no local storage option. And as far as connectivity goes, it supports 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Pretty standard.
You can also choose from different themes.
You can choose from Ding Dong, Birthday Party, Happy Birthday, Nest Classic, Digital, Bells, and Westminster. Hey, let's get to performance. You sure you don't mind I'm holding this the whole time? It just feels so great in my hand. I wish it was a handheld device. The video quality is excellent. I mean, sure, I'd love it if it were as crystal clear as my high-end smartphone, but it's a doorbell, and in the doorbell category, I think it has pretty great video. I've seen the competition and it definitely stands up. And I think it's really good even at night. I could zoom in on faces and packages and cars moving by. The doorbell even caught a coyote we heard was running around the neighborhood. I mean, the motion detection, if anything, is too sensitive. I have to turn some of the features off. You probably don't want it notifying you of every little thing, like every time a family member enters and leaves the house, or if I go out and get a package and it says that Scott was seen at the door. I mean, I find that I had to shut off some of the alerts, but I do love when it recognizes people. As if somebody rings the doorbell, it says Scott's at the front door.
Scott is at the front door doorbell.
That's great. So as far as detection goes, people, packages, vehicles, I think it's excellent. And the audio quality is very impressive too.
Hey, it's me.
I've had salespeople ring my doorbell. Meanwhile, I'm at a store watching this on my phone, and I'm listening to their entire conversation with crystal clarity. I'm like, oh, these are salespeople. I'm not answering it. But if you want to talk to somebody and press the button, it's really great two-way communication. Now, if somebody rings my doorbell, I'm not going to tell them, hey, I'm not at home. Just a little tip there for you. Then there's the notification speed. And when somebody rings the doorbell, I'll actually get notified on my phone first, and it takes several seconds for me to get notified on my Nest Hub. A lot of times I'm actually standing there watching it load and waiting for the picture to come up.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
If I could snap my fingers, I'd have instant notifications on all devices, including my Nest Hub Max. But that may be a lot to ask. Plus, it could just be the Nest Hub Max. My phone is pretty fast. Now, without having a Nest Aware subscription, the free tier provides 3 hours of event-based video history. Now, if you have a Nest Aware subscription, you get 30 days of event history, and if you have a Nest Aware Plus subscription, you get 60 days. And you can only get 24/7 video history with Nest Aware Plus, which is up to 10 days. You'll also get intelligent alerts, such as familiar faces, smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, and glass breaking alerts. Now, currently a Nest Aware subscription is $8 a month or $80 a year, and a Nest Aware Plus subscription is $15 a month or $150 a year. And as far as privacy and security, all recordings are encrypted. Now, you can find a cheaper option, but I think the Nest Doorbell's pricing is really great for all the features you're getting. Now, the prices have been kind of all over the place. I've seen them for $179, $159, $149. On Black Friday and Cyber Monday, they were $99. Bottom line, you could probably find a deal on these. So let's wrap it up. Overall, I'm very happy with the Nest Doorbell. I've owned it for many months and I don't regret my purchase at all. I really do love it. This really is a top-of-the-line device. And I've tried other quality doorbells like the Ring, which is great. I'm just already deeply entrenched in Google's ecosystem and I love their products. I think the price is great for what you're getting. It's competitive with the other brands, namely Ring, and it's ideal if you're like me and you're already in the Google ecosystem. The audio and video quality are excellent, the notifications are reliable, and the battery life is definitely manageable. It's aesthetically pleasing, feels great in the hand, that doesn't matter. And there's enough color options to blend with most homes. If I could change anything, I guess I'd like instant notifications on my Nest Hub Max. Maybe a removable battery like some of the Ring models have. And it's probably nitpicky, but maybe a little bit sharper video quality just so that facial recognition works a little bit better and it doesn't see both my sons as the same person. But these are all just minor nitpicky issues. If you're considering a video doorbell, I highly recommend the Nest Doorbell. I'm so happy with my purchase and I think you will be too. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to put you back on the wall now. Well, that's it. Did I miss anything? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Why am I pointing down? I guess it is down. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I'd be so grateful if you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching.